And it's a fresh read on the nation's fiscal health, the aforementioned Steve Liesman with those headlines, and could probably also talk about the Fed. Steve.
Yeah, Brian, thanks for that introduction. The Treasury reporting that the deficit hits an October record of $284 billion, but with a bunch of asterisks. I think that's the plural. Expenses were boosted by a calendar change, moving some stuff from into October from November of about $105 billion. So that's also an issue, but they were reduced also less than 5% by the shutdown, some payments they didn't have to make. Revenue was boosted by delayed payments from California. Remember, they delayed the requirement that certain payments, corporate tax payments and other payments be made because of the wildfires. So we got a bunch of that in, so that changed the numbers. Custom duties, I don't think there's an asterisk on this one. They reached an all-time record for any month at $33 billion. So do the math. That's about $400 billion per year in tariff revenue coming in. The previous high was last month at $29.6 billion. Now, another thing on the other side, gross interest on the public debt increasing by $22 billion to $104 billion in October compared to $82 billion last October. It was an all-time record for an October, but not for any month due to increased debt outstanding as well as higher inflation accrual. Brian, just a little note, this report itself was delayed by the shutdown. Should have been out a couple weeks ago.
Okay, can I pivot quickly? You just heard our conversation. How much have expectations?
Yeah, just keep your foot down and then pivot so you don't get called for traveling.
I get called for everything, mostly double dribble and ups and downs because I've got a 4-inch vertical. Steve, how much has the Fed rate cut chances? How much have they pivoted in the last couple of days? See what I did there?
Okay, so before John Williams spoke, the probability of a rate cut was 33%. And we had been talking to a lot of the hawks out there. They had been talking a lot. And then John Williams came forward and said he thought the Fed needed to cut in the near term, which everybody took to mean December. And also everybody took to mean, hey, that was reflecting the view of Fed Chair Powell because, hey, he's the president of the New York Fed, and oftentimes there's no daylight between them. So now I'm at 76%. I don't have the 85 that you were talking to, but we use the Refinitiv numbers. You could be talking about CME. But yes, it's a big deal. It has moved substantially and very forcefully in favor of a rate cut.